Good morning and happy Saturday, folks. How you doing today? You doing good? I hope you're doing good. Thank you for joining me for today's stick mobility class. I am Coach Ray. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday so far. So, for today's class, we are going to need one short stick. So, this is going to be a one stick or single stick class. So, if you have a short stick, this is perfect. What we're going to do here is we're going to go through everything. We're going to go through full body workout. One of the drills we're going to get into today is actually going to be somewhat of a flow-ish type of drill. So we're going to be in a bear crawl position. I'll walk through it slowly. There's honestly no way I can really describe it to you. I'll just have to show you. We're also going to get into a side plank variation. We are going to use a stick to further intensify the contraction on the obliques. All right. We're just going to finish off with a full body cool down for the stretching. Sound good? Everybody ready? Let's get to it. So I do want to focus on the feet first. So let's just quickly work through the feet and ankles first, and then we'll go to the floor to do some shin box type of warm-ups. So what I want to do here, I'm going to take a wide stance, wider than shoulder width here. Feet are going to be pointed forward. I want the stick in line with my center line here. I'm going to have my hands stacked at about roughly chest height, and I'm going to sink down. You want to make sure we got a good horse stance, pelvis is stacked under the spine here. I'm going to lightly drive the stick down into the floor, and I'm going to bring both heels up. Hold that top position. All 5 toes are in contact with the floor. And then I'm going to bring my heels down. Do not let them touch the floor. So we're going to keep some tension on those tissues. Back up, nice and slow. Keep it controlled. Back down. Good. Up. Good. Hold. Back down. Up. Hold this position here. Rotate the stick and your shoulders side to side. You're going to feel a little bit of a shift in weight as we rotate. Nice and slow. Keep it controlled here. All 5 toes in contact. Good. Feet and ankles should be feeling pretty warm here. Good. Nice and tall. Good. Hold this top position. Lift the stick. Hover it. Good. Try to keep that balance there. Place the stick back down. Then we're going to ease off. Excellent. So now we're going to go to the floor here. And what I want to do is I want to go with this shin box position. So it doesn't matter what leg you start with forward, because we're going to be flowing, switching back and forth here. So from this position here, again, get into that shin box. We're going to pick up the stick. We're going to hold it out in front. I want to keep it in front of our chest here. Now what I want to do from here is I want to start by compressing the stick. So we're going to go about 20%. So hands about shoulder width is fine. Compress that stick about roughly 20%. And then you're gonna come up, squeeze the glutes, and then I'm going to switch my feet to the other side and then slowly come back down. Excellent. We're gonna do that again. Come up, squeeze that left glute, switch your feet, and then back down. Nice and controlled. Keep compressing that stick. Up, squeeze, switch, nice and slow. Excellent. Let's go one more. Up, squeeze the glute, switch, back down. Excellent. And ease off. Good. So just kind of working on internal external rotation there. We're going to do some half kneeling pelvic tilts. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into that hip flexor stretch position, and we're going to tension into that stretch here. So I'll turn to the side. I'm going to start with my left leg forward. My right leg is back. I have the top of my foot digging into the ground, so I'm extending that ankle here. Now from this position, I'm going to have the stick in front or in line with my center line here, roughly about where the ball of my front foot is. Now from here, Both hands are stacked about roughly chest height. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive that back foot down. I'm gonna activate the anterior tissues in the quad here. I'm gonna get a little bit of the hip. Now I'm gonna shift forward. I'm not tucking my pelvis yet, but I'm just shifting forward a little bit. Drive that stick into the floor about 20% tension. Now I'm gonna do a posterior tilt. So I'm gonna do a posterior pelvic tilt, feel that glute squeeze and tighten up, and then I'm going to ease off. All right, we're gonna do 9 more here. Tuck the pelvis, ease off, keep driving that back foot into the floor, tuck the pelvis, squeeze that glute, ease off. It's 3, tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glute. 4, good, tuck. 5, excellent, tuck. 6, good, tuck. 7, 3 more, tuck. Squeeze the glute. 8, tuck. 9, one more time, tuck. 10, gonna ease off here. The movement is actually pretty small. It's not gonna be a huge movement here. So we're gonna turn forward. I'm gonna get set up in that same position. So now my right leg is forward, left leg is back. Again, same thing, driving that back foot into the floor. I'm gonna switch my hands here. So same thing, drive that back foot into the floor, drive the stick down, shift your weight forward a little bit. Now do a posterior tilt, so tuck the pelvis in, squeeze that glute, ease off, tuck the pelvis in, squeeze the glute, ease off, tuck, squeeze, good. 3, tuck, squeeze. 4, tuck. 5, doing good. Tuck the pelvis in. 6, tuck the pelvis in. 7, good, ease off. Let's go 3 more. Keep driving that stick down. Tuck the pelvis. 8, 2 more. Tuck the pelvis. 9, excellent, last one. Tuck the pelvis. 10, and ease off. Perfect. We're gonna stay in this half kneeling position, and I'm actually gonna keep my right leg forward here. Now, what I wanna do is I wanna take the stick behind my back, and I'm actually gonna grip with my hands out at the edge of the stick here. Now I wanna use the stick as a way to intensify some tension here. So right leg is forward, back foot is still into the floor here, and I'll actually kind of turn to the side a little bit. So from here, tuck the pelvis, keep the glute tight, drive that back foot down, and then I'm gonna laterally tilt, laterally flex my spine to the left, so away from my front leg here. Then I'm gonna come back up to center, and I'm gonna laterally tilt towards my front leg. So to my right, you're gonna feel those lateral tissues open up a bit. Good. Now I'm gonna pull the stick apart about 20% tension. You should feel a little bit more of an increased stretch. So keep pulling the stick apart, tilt away from your front leg. Good. Tilt towards your front leg. Excellent. Let's go one more time. Keep pulling that stick apart. Good. Other side. Excellent. Ease off and relax. Let's go ahead and switch sides here. So left leg is forward, right foot is back. Again, driving that back foot down into the floor here. I'm gonna tilt away from the front leg first, so I'm tilting towards my right. And I'm actively trying to pull that outside arm towards my hip here. Tilt to the left, so pull that left elbow in towards your hip. Good, back to center. Now pull apart, tilt to the right. Good, back down to the left. Good. Let's go one more each way. Keep pulling the stick apart. Tilt to the right. Excellent. Now to the left. Good. Back to center and ease off. Perfect. And now we're gonna focus on getting into some shoulder extension. So we're gonna go to standing for this one. And I'm gonna have the stick behind my back. So for me, I like doing this in an externally rotated shoulder position. So we're gonna have our palms facing towards the front of our body here, all right? So I'm gonna have my feet roughly about shoulder width apart, whatever allows you to get to the strongest position and most comfortable. I'm gonna have my hands, I'm gonna start out relatively wide here because we can move them in as we go along. So I'm gonna start with my hands out relatively wide, squeeze the glutes, lock those hips into extension, make sure we're not moving at the low back. I'm gonna pull the stick apart, about 20% tension to something light. And now from here, keeping my chin back, nice tall position, I'm gonna pull the stick away from my body. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back in, nice and slow, and ease off. Good. I'm gonna move my hands in a smidge more, make a little bit more of a challenge, right? Thumbs are still facing out. Pull the stick apart. Let's go 30% tension. Pull the stick back away from the body. You're gonna feel that upper back really light up here. 3, 2, 1. Back in. Ease off. All right, now let's move those hands in a smidge more. All right, doing good. Last one here. Keep it at 30%. Squeeze the glutes, pull the stick apart, 30% here. Pull it away from your body. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back in and ease off. Excellent. Now we're gonna get into a little bit more of a dynamic warm-up. So we're gonna be stepping back into a split squat position. So what I want you to remember here is that the hand that's gonna be back, that's the hand that's actually moving forward. And that's the foot that we're stepping with. So if our left hand is back, we're moving that left foot back and switching to this position, all right? So I'll start here. I'm gonna have my feet close together, maybe about an inch apart if we have them touching. And I'm gonna start with my left hand back. So I'm gonna step back with my left foot. So I'm gonna step back, okay, create a good split, drop that back knee down, and then I'm gonna bring that left hand forward and I'm gonna get a stretch here in the pec. Then I'm gonna come up and push that right hand through, driving that left hand back. So step back. 3, 2, 1. As I come up, drive that right hand through. Step back with the left. Up. Drive that right hand through. Let's go 2 more. Step back with the left. Step up. Drive that hand through one last time. Step back with the left. Step forward. Good. Now let's go ahead and switch sides. Go from here. Step back with the right. Drive the right hand through. Forward and up. Step through. Good. Step back. Drive the right hand forward. Step back up. Drive that left hand through. Let's go 3 more. Step back. Step forward. 3. Step back. Breathe. Back up. 4. One more time. Step back. And up. 5. Ease off. Good. All right. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff. So we're going to go to the floor. We are going to be in a quadruped position. So like I mentioned, it's a little hard for me to explain exactly what this drill is, but we're going to walk through it. We're going to go through each step slowly, and then we're going to kind of speed it up. So we are going to need to kind of change the height of the hand as we go along here, and that's okay. So I'm gonna go on all fours here. And so this is kind of similar to animal flow. So I'm gonna go with my left hand down. The stick's gonna be my right hand. We're gonna do both sides here. Now, my right hand is gonna be roughly about lined up with my shoulder here. I wanna keep a nice, good, stable position. Now from here, first move, I'm gonna lift my knees up off the floor and drive the stick into the ground, all right? So from here, lift the knees, drive the stick into the floor, about 50%. 3, 2, 1, back down, good. Now we're gonna add in a transition. That transition is going to be bringing that left leg through and sticking it out. The stick doesn't move here. So, same position, lift the knees, drive the stick down. Now transition, stick that left leg straight out, drive the stick into the ground still. Make sure you got that left arm driving into the floor. Back in, and down and ease off. Now we're gonna add in another transition. From that left leg sticking out, we're gonna switch the stick over to the other side, reaching back. So, bring the knees off the floor, drive the stick down, transition that left leg through, right foot stays flat, drive. It's gonna move that hand down, pick up, and open up here, drive the stick into the floor, really driving off that right leg. Feel that glute, squeeze, 3, 2, 1, excellent. Bring it back over, down, bring that leg through, and ease off. We're gonna do that again. Let's do it 2 more times. We're gonna go through a faster transition. We're gonna hold each position for 3 seconds. So drive the stick down, lift the knees, 3, 2, 1. Transition that left leg through, drive down, 3, 2, 1. Move the stick back up, over, drive, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Bring the stick back over, bring that left leg back through, and ease off. Let's go 1 more here. Same thing, 3 seconds each step. You want to make that transition as smooth as you possibly can. So bring the knees off the floor, drive the stick down, 3, 2, 1. Left leg through, push, 3, 2, 1. Up and over, drive off that right leg, drive, 3, 2, 1. Back up and over, and down. Ease off. We're gonna switch sides. So, a little tricky to work with, which is why I wanted to slowly go through the movement, but now we got one side already locked in, ready to go. We know how to transition on the opposite side. So, we're not gonna go through the same steps. We're actually just gonna kind of skip to doing it in repetitions. We're gonna do 4 on this side to try to even things out as much as we can here. So we're gonna be in that crawl position again. Also, when you're lined up here, what you'll see is that my right hand is lined up with that right leg, and I wanna keep it that way. So sticks in my left hand, I got my right hand under my shoulder, sticks out, come up, bring the knees off, drive the stick to the floor, 3, 2, 1. Right leg goes through, drive the stick down, 3, 2, 1. Up and over, drive the stick, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Back to the starting position and down. We got 3 more here, folks. Doing good. Lift the knees, drive the stick down, 3, 2, 1. Bring that right leg through, drive the stick down, 3, 2, 1, up and over. Make sure you're driving off that left leg. Drive. 3, 2, 1. Good. Back up and over. And ease off. We got 2 more here. Lift the knees. Drive the stick down. 3, 2, 1. Bring the right leg through. Drive. 3, 2, 1. Up and over. Push. 3, 2, 1. Back up. And ease off. We got 1 more here. Lift the knees. Drive the stick down. 3, 2, 1. Right leg through. Drive. 3, 2, 1. Up and over. Push. 3, 2, 1. Back over. And ease off. Whew. All right. Let's take a second real quick. So it's a hard one, but once you get the transitions down, it becomes a little bit easier. So now we're gonna get into a side plank, and the stick is gonna be in an overhead type of position. And what we're gonna do is with the hand that's on the opposite side of the ground, we're just gonna drive that hand down. And I'm gonna kind of cue you a little bit by having you actively pull your elbow down towards your hip and bring your hip up towards your elbow. So you're gonna kind of do, well, for lack of a better term, a little bit of a lateral crunch. It sounds super weird, but it's gonna work, I promise. So I'm gonna go to the floor again, and we're gonna be in that side plank position. I'm gonna go on my elbows here. Now, the stick, I wanna have it in line with my shoulders here. So, or at least the bottom of the stick in line with my shoulders. Now, if you're more comfortable going with having your knees bent as we do this, that's fine too. Again, it depends on whatever is most comfortable for you. So I'm gonna have my feet out, my right hand is up, and I'm going to get into a side plank here. First position. Now, I'm gonna move my hand down a bit, and I'm gonna drive the stick into the ground, and now I'm gonna pull my elbow down towards my hip and bring my hip up towards my elbow, which is naturally gonna bring my hips up a bit. Push with 60% tension. 3, 2, 1. Ease off and relax. It's okay if that top arm is bent, or it could be straight, either way. But we are really trying to drive that stick into the floor here. So let's go again. So hips up, drive the stick down, pull the elbow in, hips up, hold. 3, 2, 1. Good. Ease off. Let's go one more time, and then we'll switch sides. Hips, hand up. Bring the hips off the floor. Drive the stick down. Pull the elbow down towards the hip. Hip up towards the elbow. 3, 2, 1, and ease off. Let's go ahead and switch sides here. I'll kind of show a little bit of a different angle here. So we do that same thing. Stick up. Right elbow down. Right. Bring the hips up. Drive that hand down into the floor. Pull the elbow in. Hips up. 3, 2, 1. Good. Ease off. We got 2 more here. Right. Bring hips up. Drive the stick down. Pull the elbow in toward your hip. Hip up toward your elbow. 3, 2, 1. Good. Ease off. Let's go one more time. Hips up. Drive the hand into the floor. Elbow down. Hip up. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. And relax. Whew. Now, we're going to shift into a single leg RDL. However, we're going to be actively in an overhead position. So the leg that's going to be grounded, We're gonna have the stick in the opposite hand, and we're gonna use this hand to create tension on the stick by pulling. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but what we're gonna do, what this is gonna do here is gonna create tension more in that posterior chain, but you're gonna feel those hamstrings kick on just a little bit more. All right, so let's get into it. So I'm gonna start with my left leg grounded, so stick's gonna be in my right hand. I'm gonna have the stick out pretty far, so I'll actually kind of show this from the side here. So the stick's gonna be out pretty far. Now, what I wanna do here is the stick is in line with my center line, left leg is grounded, keep that foot active, like usual. So I'm gonna push the stick down into the floor here. I'm gonna hover the right foot. From here, I'm going to hinge and reach out with that right arm. Once I get to a good position, that's pretty challenging, I'm gonna place my left hand on the stick, right about mid-stick, and I'm gonna drive down with that right hand and pull in with the left. 3, 2, 1. Back up and ease off. So you're gonna feel like you're gonna kind of pull forward. So you need to really sink your hips back, and you're gonna reflexively be pushing out with that top hand. Let's go again. Left foot's grounded, drive the stick into the floor. Let's go 60% tension, hinge, drive that right heel back, squeeze that right glute, pull in with the left hand. 3, 2, 1, good. Ease off, back up, relax. Let's go 2 more here. Drive the stick down, over the right foot, hinge. Good, reach out with the left, pull. Create that bow on the stick if you can. 3, 2, 1. Excellent, back up, ease off. Last one here, folks. Drive the stick down, still about 67% tension. Drive that right heel back, hinge, place a hand on the stick and pull. 3, 2, 1, good. Back up and ease off. Now we're gonna switch sides. So sticks out, now sticks in my left hand, right foot stays grounded here. I'm gonna drive the stick down, 67%, hover that left foot, hinge, place the right hand on the stick, pull. 3, 2, 1, back up, and ease off. A little hard balance-wise. Drive the stick down, hover the left foot, hinge, drive the left heel back, and pull. 3, 2, 1, back up, ease off. Got 2 more here. Drive the stick down, over the left foot, drive that left heel back, pull. 3, 2, 1, back up, and ease off. Let's go one more time here. Drive the stick down, cover the right or left foot, hinge, place the right hand on a stick, pull. 3, 2, 1, back up, and ease off. Whew. Excellent, good. All right, that's gonna conclude the strength aspect of the workout here. So now we're gonna get into the cool down. So again, I wanted to kind of go through the full body. So we are gonna work from top to bottom. So we're gonna start off at the neck tissues and upper trap tissues. So I'm gonna take the stick, place it behind my back. Palms are facing away from the front of my body, so they're facing behind me here. right? So think about thumbs facing in towards your hips. So from here, I'm gonna have my arms straight. I wanna keep my arms straight, and I wanna pull apart, 20% tension, and my feet are roughly about hip to shoulder width apart. Toes facing forward, and I'm gonna drive the stick down towards the floor here. So again, we're only at 20%, nothing too significant. I'm gonna pull my chin back, then I'm gonna tilt my right ear towards my right shoulder, at the same time, driving that left shoulder down. Gonna get a big stretch on that left trap and neck area. Good, back up. Keep that tension, tilt that left ear towards that left shoulder, drive that right shoulder down. 3, 2, 1, excellent. Now we're gonna tilt the chin up towards the ceiling, still pulling that chin back. Bring that neck into extension, we're gonna hold for 10 seconds. So chin up. Three, 2, 1, back down. Excellent. So keep that tension on the stick. Now we're gonna rotate our chin to our right, and we're gonna bring that chin up and back. Back down, rotate forward. Now rotate to the left, chin up and back. Back down, rotate forward, and ease off. Excellent, good. Now we're gonna get into some dislocates. Really quickly wanna kind of loosen up the shoulders, open them up a little bit, and then we'll stretch out the chest. So from here, grab the stick out as wide as you comfortably can. I'll actually face forward for this. And I wanna have my feet roughly about hip to shoulder width apart. I'm gonna squat down a little bit here. Squeeze the glutes. Again, this is kind of lock those hips into extension, make sure we're not moving at our lower back as we do this here. So I'm gonna grip out wide, arms straight. I wanna pull the stick apart lightly, about 20%. I'm gonna bring it up overhead, nice and slow. I'm gonna hold here when it sticks directly behind my shoulders. Come up and back over. Still pulling apart the entire time, and ease off. I'm gonna move my hands in a little closer here. So holding that position, you're gonna get a little bit of a chest and shoulder stretch. Pull the stick apart, elbow straight. Back, hold here. Back up and over. And ease off. Good. I'm gonna move my hands in a little bit closer. Last one. Pull stick apart, arms straight, up. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back up. And ease off. Excellent. So, to stretch out the chest, I'm gonna change levels here because again, this is a shorter stick, right? So I'm gonna drop that right knee down. I'm gonna be stretching out the right pec. Now, the position I'm gonna get to, a little bit of a kind of extreme position, not super extreme, but I really wanna shift forward on that front leg, and it's okay if that back leg comes off the floor, but what we're really trying to do here is get as much of a forward lean and a transition forward so we can actually stretch out that right pec here. So the stick is actually outside of my hips on my right side, left leg is forward here. Right foot is back, and I wanna have the stick angled out to be in front of the line of the toes of my front foot here. Now from here, arm is out, thumb is facing behind me, so I'm externally rotating that shoulder here. and I'm going to transition forward. Good. This is going to be, it might be a little bit of a stretch here. What I can do now is I can bring that back leg up and really reach down. I can bring my left arm on the inside of my left leg here. Good. I'm going to bring that back knee down and ease off. So you're probably going to notice a little bit of a stretch in that right hip as well. That's okay. If the hip's tight, which is going to be a good way to also open it up at the same time as the chest. Is trying to really elongate that side. So let's go again. Hands on the stick. Transition forward first. And the stick, notice, is coming out at shoulder height. Not above, right here in line with shoulders. I'm going to bring that back leg off. Good. Bring my elbow on the inside of my left leg. 3, 2, 1. Back down and ease off. Let's go one more time, then we'll switch sides. Sorry, my hands are a little sweaty. Wipe them off real quick. All right, let's get into it. Transition forward. Excellent. Bring that back leg off. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back down and ease off. Good. I'm going to switch. So now I'm facing forward towards the camera here. So stick is out. So if this is causing any kind of discomfort, you can always back off the stretch, right? It shouldn't feel a pinching or any kind of pain there. It should feel like a stretch in the pec area. To get to that same position here, I'm going to transition forward first. Stick comes out, right? Bring that back leg up. Bring that right elbow on the inside of that right leg. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back knee down and ease off. You're going to notice it's kind of similar to the world's greatest stretch. I'm sure a lot of you know what that is. So arm out. Transition forward. Bring the back leg up. Elbow on the inside of that right leg. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back knee down and ease off. Excellent. We're going to go one more time here. Transition forward. Bring that back leg off. Elbow on the inside of that right leg. 3, 2, 1. Ease off and relax. Good. Now we're going to stand up and we're going to focus on a little bit of rotation. So we're going to be in a split stance position. Thank you. I'm glad you're having a good class, by the way. So I'm going to go with the split stance here. I'm going to go my right leg forward. Now the stick, the bottom of the stick, it's roughly about in line with my hips here, right? So I'll actually come forward a little bit more. Now remember, this is a short stick. So I'm going to have my my hand at the top of the stick here. If you have a long stick, you can have your hand roughly about shoulder height, because now you can manipulate where your hand is. So for me, I'm going to grip at the top. So for me, it's at shoulder height. And I'm going to sink my hips down a little bit. So I'm going to get a little bit of an active knee bend. And I want to hold this position here. My back foot, I'm on the ball and toes of my foot here. I'm going to have my arm straight. I'm going to lightly drive that stick down. And I'm going to open up to my right and reach forward with my left hand here. Trying to create as much distance and really bring my hands away from one another actively here, so you should feel upper back activation. Then I'm going to bring it back forward, bring my left hand back into my chest, and we're going to do that again. So lightly drive that stick down, open up towards the right, reach out and forward with that left hand. You're trying to get those shoulders to face laterally here. Good. Bring it back forward. Let's go one more time here. Drive the stick down lightly. Rotate, reach out with that front hand. If you want to try to get a little bit more rotation, try to bring that left hand towards the stick as much as you can. Excellent. Back in and ease off. Good. And so the reason why we're rotating towards the front leg is so we're trying not to move the hips, right? As much as we're going along here. Having going towards that front leg kind of traps the hips a little bit, right? So left leg is forward, right leg's back, drop into it a little bit. So left arm is straight. Again, hands at shoulder height here, right? Right hand's on the chest, open up, rotate to the left, reach that right hand out, hold, breathe, back in, nice and slow. Let's go 2 more. Open up to the left, reach forward with that right hand. Notice this knee, right? I'm not moving it a lot. I want to try to keep it stacked over the midfoot. Back in. Excellent. We're going to go 1 more time here. Drive the shoulder down. Reach forward. Bring that right hand towards the stick as much as you can. 3, 2, 1. Back forward. And ease off. Excellent. So now what we're going to do here, we're just going to finish off stretching out the hips. So we're going to go back and forth between stretching out the hip flexor or the anterior portion of the hip and then the adductors. All right. So I'm going to go down to one knee, right knee is back, left leg is forward here. We're going to hold these end ranges here for roughly about 10 seconds. And so when I say in range, I mean as much range as you can manage without it being painful, right? We're not trying to go for pain. We're trying to get a really, really good stretch here. So I'm gonna have the stick out in front, right leg is back. I'm gonna go to that same position we were in earlier, right? So I'm gonna drive that stick down 15%, drive that back foot down, tuck the pelvis and squeeze the glute. Now I'm gonna actively split the hips. So I'm shifting this front hip forward, this back hip back. So from here, shift forward into it. Really try to split those hips, right? Not trying to get that movement through the low back. Torso stays nice and tall. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Good. And we're gonna do that again. So drive the stick down, drive the back foot down, squeeze the glute, tuck the pelvis. Actively split those hips like you're trying to sink your pelvic floor towards the floor as much as you can. 3, 2, 1. Good. Ease off. And now we're going to switch sides. So now left leg's back, right leg is forward. I'm going to switch my hands a bit here. Same thing, drive that back foot down. Drive the stick down, squeeze the glute, tuck the pelvis, and split those hips actively. Really sink into it here. Breathe, control your breathing. 3, 2, 1. We're going to ease off. Let's go one more time here. Drive the stick down, drive the back foot down, squeeze the glute, tuck the pelvis, split those hips. 3, 2, 1. Ease off and relax. Good. Now we're going to get into the adductor, so I'm going to switch sides. We're only going to do this one time here. And so, foot is directly out to the side here, and it's actually in line with my hips. I don't want the foot in front. I want that foot out directly to the side. Same with the hip. Stick is going to be in front, and from here, we're going to kind of go through that same steps. We're trying to split the hips, right? So this hip is going out this way, and I'm trying to really drive this hip outward. So I'm going to abduct. So from here, drive the stick down lightly, just in line with the center line, split those hips. You're going to feel a stretch in the adductor. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. We're going to ease off. We're going to switch sides. So now my right foot is out. We're going to do that same thing. Try to stick down. Remember to split those hips. So really try to actively split the hips, sink into it. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Nice and slow. And relax. And that, my friends, concludes today's Sigma Mobility class. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I hope everybody had a good class. And it's hope you guys had fun, especially with a little bit of animal flow that we did a little earlier. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay safe out there. Have a good one.